Is Tahiri going back to the verse about Joe Budden? Yes, it is correct. Tahiri and Joe Budden are back where they were. By that, I mean that Tahiri recently recorded a podcast episode or other piece of content at Emanny's studio. And that was very telling because Emanny had also mentioned looking for a new co-host, which led many people to speculate about Tahiri's potential as that co-host. That isn't the case, in my opinion. However, if it is, we're going to go for a run. I'm eager. Tahiri was also mentioned multiple times on the Joe Budden podcast, so there are additional facts at play here. Another clip had Joe Budden discussing Tahiri once more. Tahiri simply keeps coming up on the show, as you can see. Additionally, if you've seen Love and Hip Hop in recent years, you'll get the impression that Tahiri is just as wild or on par with Joe Budden. This chick was so quick to fling hands. I mean, we'll have to see whether it works out, but I'm telling you, like, she would smack someone or throw something, and I believe that may make for good stuff. However, let's now examine something that is quite important. Is it bothering Emanny to let Tahiri rejoin the group? There's even another consequence to that. What does Joe Budden's girl think? Do you think she likes Tahiri joining the group? Tahiri excels at creating content. This might be the next step in the Joe Buddy networks. I've always believed that interviewing former partners would be a useful source of content for the Joeverse. Bring back Sahi, Kane, all these other girls, and even all of your ex-partners. I believe that everyone would love to see this fantastic stuff. Nevertheless, we must examine Emanny actions. This might pose serious problems for the Joe Buddy verse, since it's another example of Emanny being a liability, because allowing these people to return increases the likelihood that things will go terribly wrong. And now that she's on the outskirts of the podcast, we might soon witness fireworks. Additionally, there's an additional effect. Many people are interested in appearing on the Joe Money podcast. Many people aspire to appear on the show, and I believe that some people may choose this path. I suppose I'm saying that, but I'm not claiming that anyone wants to appear on the show. I believe she recently launched a podcast. It was a failure, and I believe it was called This Big Age. I don't want to claim that it failed. It wasn't all that horrible, but like most podcasts, it ends because it's difficult to attract listeners and be discovered unless you have a crazy discovery strategy, and she lacked that. As a result, many of her episodes were never very popular. However, she is currently cutting hair wearing leggings. She's working at Emanny's studio. Additionally, Emanny's studio is very expensive. Emanny might have said, "I got you, sweetheart. Do not be concerned. Do not be concerned. Do not be concerned. Don't." And I recall the time I was attempting to reserve Emanny's studio solely due to the interview with Mark Lamont Hill. It was an absurd sum, about twice as much as Mandy's studio in Wheezy. Tahiri and Joe Budden are once again in the same location. Gosh, oh gosh, I also neglected to mention that. In the same studio that Emanny operates, Joe Budden conducted an interview with Poor Minds. Please share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Tell me what you think is happening. We need to keep an eye on this because I would really like to see Tahiri on Pod Size or Pod Wives. With all due respect, the present shorty isn't all that attractive to Mike. Tahiri seems like the ideal candidate. It would happen quickly. It would be brief, but it would be fascinating. I also wanted to discuss Emanny at the end of this video. Emanny recently claimed that he doesn't receive any money from Patreon because he uses it to fund his show and other endeavors. I feel like he initially positioned it as if his Patreon was killing it, so I wonder if that is genuine or if he's just trying to make it look like he's doing poorly. He mentioned earning thousands of dollars. I believe he mentioned something like around $7,800 per month, which is a significant amount. We will therefore only be able to determine whether that is actually the case or if he covered his tracks so that he wouldn't appear to be killing it too much in front of Joe. Because I really wonder if Joe will ever be on his Howard Stern show. Do you recall Howard Stern? He refused to let anyone post anything about his show on a blog. The podcast may go in that direction. My voice is also off, as you can see, dude. I'm feeling a little ill. So if you're thinking, Danny, your voice is crazy, you don't have to make fun of me. Now hurry up. Okay, everyone. Tell me your thoughts on Tahiri's comeback to the Joe Budden universe. I adore Tahiri's appearance. She still looks fantastic in my opinion. So I wish she could return. I mean, Tahiri seemed to be the role model for the big booty gals of that era. She is in fact the model. The phenomenon is her. Everyone was attempting to watch her on these affectionate hip-hop shows. Back then, everyone was attempting to holla. This might be her last opportunity to experience any feeling or rhythm, and I believe we'll see how this develops. Tahiri, you have no choice but to arrive strong or not at all. Okay, everyone, that's my video for now.